Welcome to the Dark File, Case 07. Some killers wear masks, others wear politeness like a second skin. But what happens when darkness hides behind perfect manners? And a handshake. Tonight we step into the case of Armin Meiwes, a man who didn't just blur the line between fantasy and reality. He invited someone to die. And that man said yes. This isn't fiction. This is Germany, 2001. And this is the cannibal who asked first. Armin Meiwes was born in 1961, the youngest child in a strict, deeply religious family. His father was a stern police officer. His mother, controlling, cold, possessive. By the time Armin was 7, his father had walked out, without a word. His older brothers were gone too. That left Armin alone in a 16-room mansion, isolated with a mother who hovered over every moment of his life, even accompanying him on dates well into adulthood. With no one his age and no affection at home, Armin invented friends. One of them was named Frankie. But Frankie didn't just talk. Frankie needed to be a part of him. And Armin believed the only way to never be abandoned again was to consume those he loved. As a child, Armin became obsessed with fairy tales. Hansel and Gretel, Robinson Crusoe, stories that mentioned cannibalism, however lightly, lit a fuse in his mind. He roasted dolls on toy grills, molded human limbs out of marzipan, and dreamed about eating his imaginary brother, Frankie, so they could never be apart. By his 30s, Armin had served 12 years in the German army, only to return home to care for his ailing mother. After her death in 1999, Armin was finally free, and the house became his kingdom. That same year, the internet came into his life, specifically a dark corner of it called the Cannibal Cafe, a forum for people who didn't just fantasize about flesh. They wanted to taste it. Armin posted under the name Frankie, and in March 2001, he typed the ad that would make him infamous, looking for a well-built man, age 18 to 30, to be slaughtered and consumed. Dozens responded. Most thought it was roleplay, but one man didn't. Bernd Jürgen Brandes was a 43-year-old engineer from Berlin with demons of his own, a history of trauma, a need for control, even in death. When he saw Armin's post, he didn't hesitate. He reached out, signed a consent form and boarded a train. In Armin's mansion they talked, ate dinner, drank. Bernd was calm, eager, certain. He wanted his penis severed, cooked and eaten, together. The room was already prepared, soundproofed, windowless, cold. Armin tried to bite it off, couldn't. So he used a kitchen knife. Bernd screamed. Armin bandaged him. They attempted to cook the organ, fried in garlic and butter, but it shriveled, burnt, and ended up fed to the dog. Bernd, now bleeding heavily, asked to die in a warm bath. Armin laid him in the tub and waited. 3 hours passed. Bernd was still alive. So Armin leaned in, kissed him, and slit his throat. What followed wasn't rage, it was ceremony. He hung the body on meat hooks, butchered it, stored flesh in freezer bags under pizza boxes. He prepared meals by candlelight, paired flesh with wine, read poetry aloud as he ate. "He's part of me now," he said. Months later, Armin returned to the forums, this time with photos. He claimed to have fulfilled his fantasy. A user tipped off police. 17 months later, investigators raided the home. What they found was worse than anyone imagined. Human remains in the freezer, a shrine to his mother, and a 2-hour home video of the entire act. At first, Armin was charged with manslaughter. After all, Bernd had consented. But the video was damning. The calm, the method, the planning. In a second trial, Armin was convicted of murder for sexual gratification and disturbing the peace of the dead. He was sentenced to life in prison. In prison, Armin claimed he'd changed. Became a vegetarian, worked in the library, attended church. He even helped police analyze other cases. But to this day, he remains behind bars. "If I hadn't kept searching," he once said, "I would have taken my secret to the grave." This wasn't a crime of impulse. This wasn't just twisted fantasy. It was a meeting of two broken people who turned consent into a ritual of death. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Case 06 drops next week. You won't want to miss it.